In just one fateful moment, the exposed concrete suddenly collapsed, nearly taking the lives of 3 workers. But before the dust and smoke had cleared, a name was immediately called out: Jack, the contractor of the project. He was convicted right at the scene. Amidst suspicious eyes, what is hidden behind this horrific collapse? Please continue to watch the story unfold. This project was a key project of the district. As the contractor, Jack had devoted all his heart and capital, mobilized the best team of workers, first-class materials, and worked day and night to meet the schedule. He thought everything was progressing smoothly, but Jack did not expect that someone was secretly trying to push him down the abyss. In the 4th week of the project, an unexpected incident occurred. A piece of exposed concrete collapsed, almost crushing 3 workers working below. Everyone panicked. The press got involved, and the project management board requested a stop to the construction to investigate the quality. Jack was stunned. He knew that every bag of cement, every iron bar, every stage had been carefully checked by him. Yet now, people suspected him of embezzling from the project, embezzling raw materials for personal gain. That night, Jack did not eat or sleep. He wandered around the construction site, his eyes red with helplessness. Tien, the wife who always stood by his side, squeezed her husband's hand tightly, saying firmly, "I trust you. If someone sets a trap, we will expose him." And then, everything gradually became clear. A young worker in the team, named Hao, suddenly came to find Jack in the middle of the night. In the flickering light, he trembled as he recounted, "I saw Mr. Tien, the former construction site manager, secretly changing the construction drawings of a section of the foundation. He also told me not to say anything if I didn't want to be fired." Tien, who had competed with Jack for the contract but failed. Only then did Jack understand, the ceiling collapse was not due to a construction error, but a deliberate sabotage plan. After hearing Hao's initial statement, Jack was speechless, not daring to believe that he had been played such a vicious trick. But he had no time to sigh. He knew that if he was just one step too slow, all the evidence could be destroyed. Early the next morning, Jack met an old friend, Captain Dong, who was currently working at the Economic Department, District Police. He presented the whole incident, from the initial suspicion, to Hao's story, and the unusual points in the collapsed structure. Dong was not surprised. He had heard rumors about Tien, a veteran but scheming man. "I've suspected this guy for a long time, but he's always been very good at hiding it. If there's evidence this time, I'll get involved right away." A task force was immediately dispatched to the scene that night. The scene at the construction site at 11 p.m. was really tense. Flashlights were scanning everywhere. Shadows were moving silently, the sound of cameras clicking, the sound of pens scratching continuously. Hao was kept in an old container truck for safety. There, he signed the report, handing over the recording he had secretly recorded from the conversation between him and Tien a few days ago. "Just do as I say. No one will check. Just stop the project and that's enough. I'll take care of the rest." Tien's voice was low, but it was clear that he knew what he was plotting. In the engineering office, Jack and the technical investigation team were comparing the original design with the construction drawings on site. A veteran engineer shook his head. Someone must have tampered with the construction drawings. Here, the foundation, the depth is only 1 square meter instead of 1 meter 8 like the original. If it was done according to the design, the concrete could not have collapsed like that. At that moment, an investigator from the workers' shed reported back, "We just found a USB in Tien's desk drawer, containing the modified design and some audio files." Jack clenched his fists. The truth was gradually emerging. Blank, underscore, blank. The next morning, Tien was invited to work. At first, he leaned back in his chair, smiling contemptuously. "I followed the procedure. Why did you call me here?" But when the investigator opened the recording and held up the fake design in front of him, his face turned pale, sweat poured down his forehead, his eyes darted around, and he began to stutter. "No, I just intended to speed up the progress. But I didn't expect." "Did you not expect or intentionally sabotage?" Captain Dong looked straight into his eyes. "You didn't just hurt Jack. You hurt dozens of people working on the construction site. If they had been closer that day, someone would have died." Tien was speechless. After 3 hours of interrogation, he finally bowed his head and signed the confession. Blank, underscore, blank. The incident quickly spread, and the press reported it in droves. Many people were shocked to learn that the saboteur was a person with a long-standing reputation in the industry. Jack was officially cleared of the charges. And not only that, he was also commended by the management board for his sense of responsibility and steadfastness in protecting justice. The day the construction resumed, The entire team of workers stood with Jack in front of the construction site sign, their eyes shining brightly. Tien walked over to her husband and gave him a tight hug. "We're not only keeping the project, but also keeping our honor." Jack nodded slightly, his eyes shining with strength, although his face still showed signs of fatigue after days of fighting the darkness. Three weeks after the shocking investigation, the weather had just changed. The hot sun was no longer harsh, giving way to a gentle breeze that blew through the trees around the construction site, where Jack and his team had sweated to build each brick and each foundation. That day, a special honoring ceremony was held right at the construction site. There was no high platform, no red carpet, and no fancy stage lights. There was only a simple banner with the words, "In gratitude to the Defender of Honesty, in honor of Chief Engineer Jack Nguyen." The stands were rows of hastily arranged wooden chairs, with villagers, workers, technical staff, and representatives from the district committee sitting on them. Everyone was present, including those who had doubted him. When Jack's name was announced, applause echoed throughout the construction site, louder than the sound of the concrete mixer. Farther than the workers' whistles every morning. Jack stepped forward. He wore a white shirt that was a bit old from the dust of the construction site, but it was neatly ironed. His face was tanned, his eyes were determined, no need to be flashy. Jack exuded the aura of someone who had gone through storms but still maintained his kindness. The representative of the Department of Construction shook his hand firmly, presented him with a certificate of merit and an honorary badge. "You are not only a good worker, but also a person who maintains character in a time when trust is being tested. We are proud to have people like you." Tien stood below, her eyes red. She squeezed Jack's mother's hand. Jack held the microphone. His voice was deep, not flowery, but full of weight. "I thought I had lost everything, lost the project, lost faith, even lost my honor. But thanks to the workers, thanks to those who believed in me, especially my girlfriend, Tien, and my mother, I stood up. Today's honor is not mine alone. It is a reward for all those who believe that keeping a conscience is still possible in this era." No one applauded, because everyone was still choking. But just a few seconds later, the whole construction site exploded. Someone whistled, someone shouted, "Jack, you are our pride, blank, underscore, blank." The honor ceremony ended with an excavator starting up again, symbolizing the rebirth of the project. Jack walked down to the yard. Each worker ran to pat his shoulder, hug him. There was no longer a distance between the contractor and the worker.